Hi, sweeties. How are you doing? Welcome to Nayasim. Thank you so much for the support. Hope you are good. So, I am going to say this for anybody that is trying or wanting to come out and say that Black people refuse to come out and support everybody or refuse to come out and do the needful. Why? Because they always come out with this adage nobody is free until everybody is free. I think as time goes on, everybody will have to fight for his or her community. And now I am going to say this. Black people all over the 92% and the 80%, I want you to know that they never had meeting. They never called each other to tell themselves that, you see, today we are not stepping back and we are not going to do anything. It is them waking up and it is them collectively or individually stepping back on their own and saying, if you all do not think that I am important, I am just going to let you people run it the way you want. So the way they step back is also the same way they are going to step forward when their instinct says that they should do so. Because this particular video is just one of the examples of why I will continue to support my own people, to continue to sit everything out. Why? Because these people knew what they were doing. They knew this administration was going to harm you. Let's get into this video.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Tabitha Speaks Politics. I am Tabitha. If you've come across this video and are not subscribed to my channel, please go ahead and click that subscribe button. I would be happy to have you. If you've come across this video out there floating around on social media, please make sure you're following me on all of my social media pages. You can find me on Skylight, Blue Sky, TikTok, Threads, Instagram, and of course over at the home base, which is YouTube. I told y'all, I don't talk to MAGA nuts. I talk about MAGA nuts, and here's why.
I definitely voted for Trump, and I just wanted to throw a key point, and it doesn't even have anything to do with the prove me wrong, Trump is terrible for America. But the point is, the people that voted for Trump is because we wanted everything to happen that's happening to happen. Like, we didn't vote for Trump and be like, oh, Trump's not going to break any laws. Like, everybody that voted, we knew that he wasn't going to follow the Constitution. Yeah. We didn't care. Yeah, so that's the point. We want to change so bad that we didn't give a crap what the cost was.
Yeah, I have a feeling that you're going to leave before I could rebuttal your view, right?
Oh, no, you can.
You're going to stay up here for a conversation?
Yeah, sure.
Why do you do that to yourself?
I know. I don't know.
Why, like, no, seriously, why would you do that to yourself? Like, you're literally telling me that, oh, yeah, you want a constitutional crisis. You want something that stands in opposition to what American values have been since the conception of our country. You want a criminal. You want a violent offender. So then how about you stop fucking virtue signaling about caring about those things as it would apply to individuals outside of Trump? Because it is y'all that have been saying, screaming at the top of your lungs, back the blues, support law and order, but then you say that you want the criminal, you want the felon, you want the person that's going to pardon violent January 6 rioters that drove stun guns into the necks of cops on January 6. I understand that you're on this live saying that those are things that you wanted, so then stop fucking acting like you don't want them as it would apply to migrants. Stop acting like you don't want them as it would apply to women. Stop acting like you don't want them as it would apply to literally any fucking demographic outside of really rich and really orange old white guys.
I don't know. I actually agree with you. That's the problem. Like, it's contradictory. So I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that the Democrats are wrong, or I'm not saying that your point of view is wrong at all whatsoever. I'm just saying that we knew what we voted for. So, like, even for you to sit there and argue with half the people that voted for Trump, it's pointless because they know what they voted for too, and they don't care.
They wanted change so badly that they voted for a man that they knew would put this country into a constitutional crisis. What was the change they wanted? They wanted to put black people back in their places. They wanted black people to be subservient to them. They don't want to see black people heading corporations. They don't want to see black people sitting in CEO positions. They don't want to see black people in upper management positions. They don't even want to see black people in middle management positions. They want to see black people back in the fields. They want to see black people in positions of service to them, their mechanics, their cooks, their maids, their waiters, their waitresses. That's what they want to see black people as. They don't want black people educated. They want black people to be subservient to them. They want black people to be second-class citizens. They want to be able to use the N-word. They want to be able to dog out and mistreat black people so that they can feel good about themselves. They want Latino people expelled from this country. They want Muslims and other Arab individuals expelled from this country. They want to be the top dog, and they don't care how many people they hurt around the world in order to get it. They want to be in control. They want to control other people's lives, and that's on period. They voted for Donald Trump because they knew Donald Trump was their best bet in getting that. Donald Trump hates the same people that they hate. They didn't care if they lost their jobs. They didn't care if they lost their retirement funds. They don't care if they lose the little bit of health care that they have. They don't care if they lose the family farm. They don't care. As long as black people is underneath their thumbs, they're happy. And they will use whatever culture war that they have to use in order to get it. If black people are saying Black Lives Matter, they're going to come out and say all lives matter. If black people are celebrating DEI and Black History Month, they're going to say, what about all people? They're going to say, what about White History Month? What about this? What about that? They will use whatever culture war they can in order to get others to be underneath their thumb. LGBTQ people, I want them underneath my thumb. I don't want them out there being happy and living life and being free. CRT, get it out of here. DEI, get it out of here. Affirmative action, get it out of here. Why? Because they view those as tools used by black people in order to advance well beyond that they have been able to advance. They are hateful, they are racist, they are hypocritical, and they know it. They will disagree with one thing 1 minute and then agree with it the next, and vice versa. Whichever way that culture war pendulum swings, that's the way they will swing. They stand firm in nothing. The only thing they stand firm in is Donald Trump, and Donald Trump causing pain to as much people who are not like them as possible. I don't talk to MAGA nuts. I talk about MAGA nuts. I refuse to waste my breath and my time to try to talk to try to reason with someone who is acting in bad faith, someone who is being willfully obtuse, someone. These people are not worth your time. And that's on period. Now, I shared this video clip on yesterday. I didn't have too much to say on it because the video clip itself tells you how much of a fool Donald Trump really is. But now that I've got more information that proves just how much more of an incompetent fool Donald Trump really is, I had to come in and share it again. Hey, y'all, I'm Tabitha. Welcome to Tabitha Speaks Politics. If you've come across this video and are not subscribed to the channel, please go ahead and click that subscribe button. I'd be happy to have you. We're trying to get to 500,000 subscribers. If you've come across this video out there on social media and aren't following me on my social media pages, please follow me on my social media pages. You can find me on TikTok, on Blue Sky, on Skylight, on Threads, and on Instagram. And of course, YouTube is home base. Now, a viral video clip of Donald Trump being interviewed by ABC's Terry Moran. Let me just show you the clip.
Wasn't a member of a gang, and then they looked, and on his knuckles he had MS-13.
There's a dispute.
Well, wait a minute. He had MS-13 on his knuckles tattooed.
He had some tattoos that are interpreted that way. But let's move on.
Wait a minute. Hey, Terry. Terry.
He did not have
Don't
the
do that.
letter MS13.
It says MS13.
That was Photoshop. So let me
That was Photoshop. Terry, you can't do that. Hey, they're giving you the big break of a lifetime. You know, you're doing the interview. I picked you because, frankly, I never heard of you, but that's okay. I picked you, Terry. But you're not being very nice. He had MS13 tattooed.
We'll agree to disagree. I want to move on to something else.
Terry, do you want me to show you the picture?
I saw the picture. We'll
And you think it
agree
was
to disagree.
Photoshop? Well,
Here we go.
Don't Photoshop it. Don't look at his hand. He had
Fair enough.
MS13.
He did have tattoos that can be interpreted that way. I'm not an expert on them. I want to turn to Ukraine,
No,
sir.
Terry,
I want to get to
Terry,
Ukraine.
No. He had MS as clear as you can be, not interpreted. This is why people no longer believe the news, because
when
it's
he was
fake
photographed
news.
in El Salvador, they aren't there. But let's just go on. They aren't there when he's in El Salvador.
They
Take
weren't
a look
there,
at the
but they're
photograph.
there now, right?
No,
but
they're in
now.
your picture.
Terry,
Ukraine, sir.
he's got MS13 on his knuckles.
All right.
Okay?
Well, we'll take a look.
You do such a disservice.
We'll take a look at
Why
that,
don't you
sir.
just say, yes, he does, and, go on to something else?
It's contested.
Terry Moran tried to save Donald Trump to move past this foolishness. And Donald Trump was steadfast. He wanted to die on this hill that Kilmar Garcia had MS-13 tattooed on his knuckles. This right here is the photograph that Donald Trump is talking about. You can clearly see what the tattoos are on Kilmar Garcia's hand. And then you can see what was imposed onto this photograph, which is the M, the S, the 1, and the 3. The M, the S, the 1, and the 3 was photoshopped on top of this photo. You can clearly see that M, S, 1, 3 are not tattoos. They were typed on to the photograph. This is also a photograph of Kilmar Garcia with his tattoos. You see no MS13. Why? Because no one typed on this photograph the M, the S, the 1, and the 3. Somebody over in the MAGA Nut clan took this photograph and interpreted the tattoos to mean the MS13. And it probably was somebody in the Trump administration using this to say that Kilmar Garcia was a part of MS-13. And this is what they used to send that man over to El Salvador. And I want you to notice that towards the end of that clip, Donald Trump said to Terry Moran, why don't you just say it? Just say that I'm right. And this is what happens in Donald Trump's administration. This is what happens. They don't argue with Donald Trump. They don't say, no, sir, you're wrong, and provide evidence to show that he is wrong. No, they don't do that. If Donald Trump says the sky is orange, they will start to move and put things into place to show that the sky is orange. The rest of us are looking at the sky and we see the sky is blue. And whatever you're trying to provide as proof that the sky is orange, I'm looking at the sky and the sky is blue. This is the type of presidency Donald Trump has. This is the people that's working around Donald Trump. Instead of saying, no, sir, here's the proof, here are the facts, the sky is blue. No, 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 just say it. Why don't you just say it? The sky is orange. And so the people will say, yes, the sky is orange. I found this fake photograph showing that the sky is orange. Sir, you were right. That's what's happening in Donald Trump's presidency. That coupled with people like Stephen Miller, who are manipulating Donald Trump with false information and with lies. And then Donald Trump will believe those lies and go out and die on a hill of lies. I'll see y'all later.
I feel like this regression towards conservatism, where people are basically showing their ass and showing that they never cared to begin with, it was just the virtue signally cool thing to do, is weirdly the silver lining of this whole thing. Because it's showing us beyond a shadow of the doubt that you cannot gentle parent people into being kind if that is not already their value system. You cannot explain anything to someone who doesn't value what you value, because they don't care. And they will justify their value system in a way that maybe mirrors your language, but it does not mean that they can be convinced. It just means that they will use anything to justify what they want to do anyways. So what does this tell us about creating a just and equitable world if that's what you value? It's a fight. It's not that people are misguided and they just don't understand. It's not this liberal infantilization that we do where people make bad decisions and we think it's just because they're disenfranchised. What do we do about people who, no matter what you do for them, don't want a just and equitable world? You force them and you create conditions where they have no other choice. And I know this sounds counterintuitive to our value system, because when you hear force, you think violence, and that we're not violent people. Like, that's just not going to happen. We're pacifist, but we have a lot of strategic power. Take a page out of Black women's playbook right now and just withhold your economic power. Withhold your attention, withhold your time, and withhold your energy. There's no point arguing with these folks. They don't care. They don't get it, and they don't give a fuck, you know? And so rather than spending all this energy and all this time trying to get them to understand and trying to get them to see, withhold your strategic power, your time, your energy, and most importantly, your money. And force them to live in a world that is just and equitable, because that's what we value. And we know that we value that. And we know that we feel guilt and shame and anxiety and all the things that force us to be good people. But not everyone does, because we will inevitably live in a world where there will always be a percentage of people that just don't get it and that don't want that. What do we do now? We have to force them. That's just the reality. And this back and forth that we're doing, I mean, I'm exhausted. Would you go to a narcissist that's treating you badly and tell them, treat me better? No, because they think that you're less than them and that you deserve the bad treatment. What are we doing here?
This is all I got from this video, and a very big shout out to Sister Tabitha. Thank you so much. You always bring the best. Now, I am going to say this. I don't think, one thing I have learned to work with as an African woman is to listen to Black women, Black people in general. You see the 92% and you see the 80%. Listen to them. Now, let me tell you this. The reality is that I don't know how you people do it, but you people do it. I don't know. I mean, sometimes I feel like you all read. I don't know. How do they call them? Like all these tarot readers, not like a tarot reader. Some of them are not accurate. I mean, when it comes to politics and majority of the things going on, you all see so far. And how you see it is something that sometimes I'm like, this is gift. I understand that you all have, like, mastered their politics, how they work. It's also a gift to master all this, because there are some people that may have lived with them, like, all this while, but still do not even understand what they can do and what they cannot do. Right from the onset, you all were very specific. When I say being specific, 100% specific and accurate about almost everything you talked about when it comes to this politics. Now, you all heard what the person that called Dean said. It's not like they do not know that all these things were going to happen. I don't know if you understand this kind of people that love to see people suffer. Some people, they just want to see you suffer. They just want to see how you are going to react to some certain things. They just want to see how you are going to work with this. And when something is not moving fine, how is this person supposed to cope? How will this person move forward? Will they be stuck? Will they start crying? Will they ask for help? This is what is happening. Because sincerely speaking, these people knew that this administration was never ever going to be good. Because tell me how they switched on everybody. Why did I say why did they switch? Because at some point they were okay if Joe Biden was gonna come back. 1 minute they were okay. Okay, Joe Biden, yes, we're still going to vote for him. Though, right? And then Joe Biden said, oh, I cannot continue this race. Let me step down for this woman to continue. And then the people that wanted to work with this man switched up immediately. So what changed? What happened? I know from time I heard some people saying, because they did not give Kamala Harris time to probably speak more on her political agenda or talk about policies and all that. That is actually not true. Even if she took 20 years to talk about her agenda, her policy, her manifesto, and all that, those people already made up their mind. So forget about all these things. Some people that is an obiter dictum, When some people sometimes you just want to get an excuse, make an excuse to maybe to calm your nerves or to keep you going. But sincerely speaking, these people already knew what they were going to do. And even I don't know how to say this, but the reality is that this woman's policies, her policies were very, very straightforward. When you see her policies, you will understand that it's someone that is enlightened. I am not saying everybody is perfect. Nobody is perfect. Even the person that I am trying, but what I am saying is that she got it all laid out. Starting from price gouging, taxes, and Medicare, deportation, and she all got all this mapped out. She has planned. She had planned. So now, this is just me trying to tell those people that I will see that will come out to say that Black people should go out there and protest. See, if you want to protest, it is okay, you go out to protest. Stop looking for a way to drag my own people to hate the story. I do not have problem if you want to protest. Go do it yourself. But do not ever call my own people because they did the right thing. Like I said in one video that I posted, maybe I don't know which one you will see first. I said that the way Black people did not talk to anybody. I hope you understand that before Black people stepped back, they did not speak to anybody. They did not do any meeting. They did not call anybody on. They just on their own stepped back, right? The same way they step back is also the same way they will step forward when there is need. I know my people, they have one of the greatest instincts. When the instinct says, come out, they absolutely will come out. But when they say no, they will not. So I am going to rest it here, and I hope you all understand where I am coming from. Bye for now.